I want to relate this story of what happened to me the other day because I don't think anything happens by accident. It's just not my view of the world. It's not my view of life. It's not my view of the way uh, things work. So there must have been something significant about this event, um, but it's a very puzzling thing. And when it was happening, it was a very frightening thing. Although I never felt like I was going to, like I was about to die, to be fair, but it was still just, for a couple seconds there, my heart was really, really thumping, and I just didn't know what was going on. It just didn't make sense. It didn't accord with with anything that I would have expected. So I was driving through a residential area, and I was driving down a fairly narrow road. Okay, and this other vehicle, this like it was a pickup truck, but it was sort of a not just a pickup truck. It was like the sort of truck that is driven by, I don't know, people who come to your house and are going to fix something. It had some, a couple of attachments to it. You can see what kind of a, home fix it kind of guy I am. You can see how handy I am, that the way that I identify these particular vehicles is, something alien or foreign to my expertise, but I recognize it when I see it. So I'm not sure if it was carrying anything in the trunk. Again, this was a couple of days ago, and I just haven't thought of telling y'all about it until now. And then and just a few minutes ago, I was thinking to myself, this is something I really really should share. So I was driving down this road, and this ahead of me, in a road that intersected with the road I was driving down. But to my left, this truck drove up, and there was a stop sign there. I had the right of way. He was, he was supposed to stop and then make a left turn. Once the coast is clear. That's how traffic rules work. But instead of doing that, he just kept going. He went, I believe, right through the stop sign. And as soon as I saw what he was doing, I slammed on the brakes and I banged on the horn. Like, what the hell are you doing? I figured he for some reason, maybe he wasn't paying attention. He didn't see me, in which case I would have thought that he would stop, and then maybe back up, and and then let me go, and that would just be like a blunder on his part. But these things happen. Maybe you just space out for a second while you're driving. But he didn't stop. Now, the only reason why I say I didn't feel like my life was in danger is because, we were both going at a relatively slow speed. It was a residential district, narrow road. I don't think I was going more than 30 miles an hour, probably less than that. But in any case, it was just really weird and uncanny how he just kept going and went right in front of me, and then just kept driving while I had to slam on the brakes, and I was banging on the horn saying, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And I probably said worse things than that. I was mad, obviously. But he just pulled right in front of me and then just kept driving. And I never saw any kind of reaction from the driver. I never saw the driver at all. I think that the front windows were tinted, probably, because I would have thought I would have, I would have seen some glimpse of who it was. And then so so then we were coming up. I was still recovering. I trying not to have a heart attack. That this large truck had gone contrary to all traffic laws and had pulled out right in front of me, and endangered me. Again, I wasn't going to die, but it could have been an accident if I wasn't more, if I wasn't a little more, if I hadn't been, really aware of what was happening. If when I saw him coming up to the stop sign, if I just thought, oh well, I'll just keep going, I'll go a little faster, then wham, he would have crashed right into me. He just didn't seem aware that I was there. And the strange thing is, he didn't seem aware that I was there even after I was honking at him. Even after he pulled out in front of me. So at the time, I assumed, as one does, I assumed malice on his part. And I know that, that road rage can get out of hand. On the other hand, you have to stand up for yourself, right? So you don't want to escalate it too far where it gets out of hand, but you also want to say, hey, what the hell? So when the guy, we came to the larger road, this driver took a right. I honked at him some more and stuck out my finger at him, because he was turning to the right. I was going to take a left on this road, which I did after I was done honking and fingering, and birding. But the weird thing was, it was like I got the impression of just a robotic, impersonal, force, completely unaware. That was the impression I had, and that's what's making me. That was what afterwards, when I reflected back on it, made me think to myself, maybe it wasn't malice. Maybe this was just absolute, just carelessness to the nth degree. But I just don't understand how he could not have heard me when I honked my horn, and how he could have, because he was putting himself in danger too, right? If I crash into him, then it's a crash that involves both of us. He didn't seem to be aware of that at all. I'm calling him he. Of course, I don't know who the driver was, or if there was a driver at all. I don't know. So it was a puzzle. It was a frightening incident. It was a puzzling event. I'm still trying to work it out in my mind. I don't know what any of y'all would say if anybody has any kind of insight to spare. I mean, I'm if it had been somebody trying to take me out, then I think it would have gone differently than it had. So I really don't think it was that, and I don't think I have no delusions of being somebody who's important enough to be taken out. Then again, the people who are in charge, they don't really care about who they take out and who they don't. They are completely indifferent, and I think quite malicious on those sorts of things. Nevertheless, I don't really see that being what happened here. But I don't know. I can't make sense of it. It wasn't just a careless driver. A careless driver would have heard my honking horn would have known, would have become aware, and known to stop, and at that moment, at the risk of crashing. So it was like they just plowed right through in spite of my honking, in spite of the fact that I was in danger and they were also in danger from, of crashing into me, of me crashing into them. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know how to make sense of it in my mind. I know there are a lot of bad drivers. Maybe it was just a really bad driver. But even the worst drivers in the world, you'd think that they would be they would register somehow in some way to them. Ooh, he's honking. Oh, wow, there's a car there. I didn't see a car. I wasn't looking before I made this left turn. I didn't see there was a car there. But again, the impression I got from the other car wasn't an impression of malice. It was just of just complete absence of consciousness. That's all I can say about it. So I thought I would share that with y'all, and if anybody has any thoughts on the matter, please share them below. Thanks for watching.